Let's play some ball.
Avery Williams on the return. And so here we go.
Well, this is the theme that we've seen in watching some of these other conferences play at the beginning of the year. Some mistakes on special teams, a hold right there. Remember, these guys aren't going full live on special teams in practice. It's the first time that they have somebody live running at them. A little bit of hold there, and that puts Boise State in a bit of a backed up situation.
From just south of the 10, and here is our first look at Hank Bachmeier and George Holani. This dynamic duo from a season ago. Minimal gain on first down. Holani had a fantastic freshman year for the Broncos.
Yeah, he sure did. And in this game against Utah State a year ago, 176 yards on 16 carries. New defensive coordinator with Frankie Maile. Believe me, Utah State is going to be focusing on George Holani. You're going to see a lot of movement from that front, trying to confuse a lot of new offensive linemen for Boise State.
Holani, the centerpiece of this offense, takes the handoff on second down. Short gain. Third down coming up. Boise State coming off of that 12-win season, a Mountain West Conference championship. John Ojukwu, the only returning starter on this line with any real experience. Plenty of weapons for Bachmeier this season. Khalil Shakir, of course, had the breakout season a year ago. Holani became the first freshman in program history to run for more than 1,000 yards. So 3rd and 6 on the opening possession. Holani motions. Bachmeier looking his way. Caught.
Just short of the first down out there. This is one of those plays where Holani's got to know, I got to try and find the sticks. I got to try and find the sticks. Because with that throw from Bachmeier right there, no opportunity to run after the catch. He gets to that first down distance, that would have been a first down.
And instead, it's a punt on the first possession.
You know, and that's just one of those things. You have a tendency, first time you're in live action, a younger back like that, even in his second season, he breaks off that route just a little bit early when he sees the man coverage.
Fair catch across midfield. Jordan Nathan signals for it. And the Aggies on offense for the first time today. So that means first game action for Jason Shelley as a Utah State Aggie. The former Utah Ute leaves the program in February, transfers here officially in July, won the starting quarterback job this week.
Yeah, and of course a little bit of familiarity between Gary Anderson and that Utah staff with Kyle Whittingham. Gary Anderson had been down there as an associate head coach and D-line coach back in 2018. But Shelley, remember what he was able to do for Utah, started the last 5 games of the season in 18.
A dropped snap on the first play, and Jalen Warren pounces on it.
And you're going to see Shelley just kind of takes his eyes off of this one because of the motion. He's going to try and get this handoff, try and get that ball in there just a little bit too quick. Again, just these timing issues at the start of a season, your first live action, even in an empty stadium, your mind speeds up a little bit.
The last few months of practice preparing for this season has been so erratic for all of these teams. Shelley hauls it downfield incomplete, and so it sets up 3rd and 13. A bit more experienced offensive line this year for Utah State. It's no longer blocking for record-breaking quarterback Jordan Love. It'll be Shelley, of course, the starter. He's got some key receivers back. Devin Tompkins is a burner. And then, of course, Bodie Reeder, the first-year offensive coordinator, has raved about this backfield. Jalen Warren and Devontae Henry Cole.
Yeah, remember Jalen Warren at the beginning of last season against Wake Forest ran for more than 100 yards. Actually had 300 yards rushing in the first few games, but then got a little banged up.
So on 3rd and long, Shelley, and he's sacked. Riley Wimpy, the captain, got to him, making an impact on the first series.
Yeah, Wimpy and Whitney, and these are two of the guys that this staff just absolutely rages about. Good call from defensive coordinator Jeff Schmedding. Gets that pressure look up front, try and confuse that offensive line, get them to commit to a certain look, trying to block it a certain way, and then you bring that pressure from other areas.
New year with same Broncos. Led the league in sacks last year with 40. And this defense should be as sturdy as what Bronco fans remember. Steven Kutsunley, the Aussie, booms it away. Fair catch at the 21. So 2 possessions, couple of punts. We'll get a better look at Hank Bachmeier 2.0, the California back for his sophomore season at the reins of the offense next. Settle in, just started in Boise. No score, each team has 1 possession, 1 punt. 50 degrees at kickoff. A little soggy and wet earlier, but the weather has really turned out nicely this evening in the Treasure Valley. No fans in Albertson Stadium. Usually 36,000 rocking in this place. We wish you were here, but we got you covered today with Robert Smith, Kevin Fitzgerald with you. Second possession for the Broncos. Bachmeier's got some running room. And he gets leveled. That is a sight Bronco fans saw too much of last year. Nice run, big hit.
Yeah, it certainly is something that they're scared about. And this is something new offensive coordinator was wide receiver coach Eric Keesaw told us about Bachmeier that he was working on his slide, protecting himself a little bit more.
Just was able to get out of the way of that Jackson tackle. Takes a hit in the pocket, fires, and that's caught. Khalil Shakir, his favorite target from a year ago.
Khalil Shakir, just a tremendous athlete, very versatile athlete, also throws some passes. You see him taking some jet sweeps, does a nice job going down for that ball. And Bachmeier took a hit just as he was delivering that ball, kind of affected his accuracy. But Shakir did a nice job going down, picking that one up before it hit the blue turf.
Pickup of 14, 1st and 10 at the 42. A lot of motion up front for the Broncos. Alani, patient run. That may be enough for the first down.
Great job pointing that out, Kevin. It was a nice, patient run right there. Didn't try and cut that one back, stayed front side. Remember Holani going over 1,000 yards last season. That extended the Boise State streak of running backs with 1,000-yard seasons to 11.
He was the first freshman to do it. Here's John Bates, the tight end, with his first catch. Rumbles ahead, back-to-back first downs.
Got just so many weapons in this Boise State offense, and Bates is one of those guys that talked about being more of a quiet leader, but leadership so crucially important in a year of so much uncertainty. And of course what we've got here with empty stands, find a way to get yourself motivated, get out there and make some plays.
Just how uncertain, neither of these teams knew their week 1 opponent until as late as October 1st. That's when the conference released the schedule. An 8-game schedule for these Mountain West Conference teams. Nice pickup on first down. It's the backup tight end, Riley Smith. Bachmeier finding his tight ends.
Nice job here, hitting Riley underneath. Bachmeier did a good job hitting him in stride there. Doesn't have Riley need to slow down at all so he can get more yardage after the catch. And Utah State may want to slow things down, but Boise State certainly doesn't seem like they want to go slow today.
Bachmeier's 4 for 4 on the drive, 4 first downs. They're at the 20. Alani, a lot of running room. Grayson on the tackle along with Jared Green, who steps in for the injured Troy Lethbridge. Nice run.
Yeah, we've talked about the new faces that they have on this Boise State offensive line. You could see them just creating an entirely new line of scrimmage right there. The push that they're getting is tremendous. Alani 5 yards downfield before he even got touched on that one.
Rather untested Aggies defense as well, with just 4 starters back from a 7-win team. If it's working, go back to Holani. Chips forward for a couple.
Holani staying in there. We're going to see some of Andrew Van Buren today as well. Good 1-2 punch. But Holani put on a little bit of weight this offseason. Came back stronger than normally happens with young running backs. Not the biggest guy in the world, but he certainly can tote that rock.
Compact yet powerful, the sophomore for Bellflower, California. Bachmeier the rollout. Bates. Muscles ahead, reaching. Looks short.
A little bit of boot action on that one. They get Bates and Riley coming in the same direction here. They covered up Riley coming out of the backfield. Bates open underneath. And again, we talk about the creativity of this offense, and offensive coordinator Eric Keesaw talked about the process, said there's input really from everybody, and they have a lot of fun trying to outthink each other on the gadget plays.
He's engineering a fine drive. Can Halani punch it in? Got it.
There's a flag
down. It'll either be his 8th rushing touchdown or is the flag going to nullify it?
It might have been a formation issue where that flag was thrown. We'll see.
Mike Catone.
Oh, offside.
Now for the extra point by Boise State.
That penalty would be declined. It was overplayed as a touchdown.
Boise State knew it. They had their 2-point conversion ready to go here. See what they're going to do.
The 8th career rushing touchdown for George Halani. Just as we expected, he picks up where he left off. Now the freshman, Jonah Dalmas. 7-0 Broncos. A well-crafted drive for the first score of the game.
Yeah, really did a nice job mixing up the run and pass on that one. George Halani finishes it off. Harsin is loving what he sees out of his Broncos.
The Broncos engineer a 9-play, 79-yard drive in less than 4 minutes to get on the board first. And of course, it's George Halani, picks up right where he left off a year ago, punches one in from 1 yard out.
And of course, Bachmeier on that one, you can see right there, 4 for 4. Again, did a nice job really mixing up the run and pass on that drive. Yeah, good mix of the run and pass on that first drive. Looked like that was a little miscommunication on that last play. Expect the unexpected here. We're going to have upsets in college football. We're going to have some timing be off, and it looked like it was for the Broncos on that last play.
Bachmeier otherwise has started 5 of 5. He and Halani, the centerpieces, of course, of the offense. Fires a strike for a first down. Tight end again, John Bates.
It's going to be interesting to see the spot on this one.
Like is right at the marker.
See Bates in the slot here. Sorry, here. He didn't control that ball all the way to the ground anyway. As they say, he became a runner and recovered it himself.
Play clock winding down. A lot of confusion down on the field.
Confusion all over the place. And remember, the refs didn't have a preseason. Of course, the players just figured out, the staffs figured out, who they were going to be playing recently. All of this, it's just so new. So the mechanics of all of these different processes on game day.
The ball carrier was short of the first down. 4th down.
So the initial ruling was just short. Heck, you had the PA voice here a moment ago, and now it's first down. Got one former Utah State Aggie, one current member of the Green Bay Packers, of course, using their first-round draft choice, Jordan Love.
Big shock to Aaron Rodgers.
Cut to Rodgers' green room. So this is Jason Shelley who takes over for Jordan Love. Jalen Warren on the give. Coach is really high on Warren. So, that was a big problem for Gary Anderson to try to solve. Okay, how do I replace the record-breaking Jordan Love? It's the transfer portal. Shelley was leaving Utah, transferred here in July. One thing he was looking for while searching for a new school was, I just want to find a place I can compete to win a starting quarterback job. That's exactly what he did here. He won the job.
Yeah, no question about it. And Shelley ends up coming here because Jake Bentley comes into Utah from South Carolina. It's a new free agency in college football.
A lot went on this summer. 1 quarter in the books. It's great to see football in the blue again. Broncos ahead. Season opener for the Mountain West Conference. Broncos up 7-0. This is a series that Boise State has dominated over the years. Has won 16 of the last 17. Pretty much dominated quarter number 1, outgaining the Aggies 116-12.
This Aggie offense obviously has to get something going here. You've got that experienced offensive line. You've got some playmakers out there at wide receiver, some experienced guys. Try and get away, Jason Shelley. Got to get out to the edges, get a little bit of space, maybe get some run-pass option on the outside.
Hand it off to Jalen Warren, too. A nice spin move. Avoids a hit. Riley Wimpy with the tackle. It's now 4 for the captain.
And they just rave about that captain. Missing the backfield. Wimpy able to get Warren down to the ground. 3rd and 4 here.
Robert Smith, Kevin Fitzgerald with you. Glad to have you with us this Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, man across the board on this one. They're not trying to give any space to anybody.
Shelley uncorks it. Nearly picked off. Good coverage on the play. Markel Reed, stride for stride with a pair of receivers down the sideline.
Well, you can see all these receivers covered up very well. Tried to hit the quick out, couldn't do that. And Markel Reed gets his eyes up to the football. He's able to knock that thing away from Jordan Nathan. Nice job in coverage right there. When you're in phase, when you're actually running with the wide receiver, you can get your head back. As long as you don't let that receiver get away, you get that head back, you can knock that ball away.
Shakir calls for the fair catch. Broncos take it near midfield. It was Mike Sanford, who was the offensive coordinator of the Aggies last year. The prior offensive coordinator, the prior coaching staff of the Broncos, call he's familiar with. Bachmeier down the seam. He's got Shakir. His favorite target from a year ago into the end zone for the first time this season.
Remember that Lethbridge, the top safety out for Utah State. This is a busted coverage. You're going to see Shakir running wide open on this one, right where Lethbridge would have been.
52-yard catch and run, and that Lethbridge absence is a humongous one. Led this team in tackles, very good safety. 14-0. Succinct drive. One play, 52 yards. Shakir got there in 8 seconds.
That's efficiency for you.
Bachmeier and the Broncos pick it up right where they left off. 2-score lead. Yeah, season opener here in Boise. 14-0 lead. Khalil Shakir with a touchdown on a prior drive.
Yeah, it was a great call, a well-timed call by offensive coordinator Eric Keesaw on that one. We're going to draw that up here in a second to show you what the Broncos were able to do.
That's not Jason Shelley. Early in the second quarter, Andrew Peasley takes over, trying to spark the offense. He's appeared. One game he's thrown 10 career passes. Hands off to Warren on first down. Rolls ahead. And Robert, you were alluding to this not long ago. Maybe time for a switch. Here comes Peasley.
Well, and I think sometimes it's not that you've lost all faith in your starter, Jason Shelley. It's just that you feel you go to a guy like Andrew Peasley, and sometimes it can just be the spark that your team needs. Guys block a little bit differently. The wide receivers run their routes a little bit differently. And again, let's be frank, these wide receivers for Utah State just haven't been able to get the separation to allow Jason Shelley to fit some of those passes in up to this point.
And just one first down, 30 yards of total offense for the Aggies. Warren hit at the line. Kept his speed, didn't get much more. And Ezekiel Noah, starting middle linebacker, finishes him off. So in comes Peasley, the sophomore from Oregon. He played last year against Stony Brook, but then tore his MCL in that game, missed the remainder of the season.
And remember, Ezekiel Noah, who just made that tackle right there, he tore an ACL as well. So a little bit of extra time to prepare to get back. And they talked about a blessing in disguise. Jeff Schmedding, the defensive coordinator, saying it's a blessing in disguise that some of these guys had a little bit more time to recover. And even with the losses in the front, very solid on the back end with this defense.
See if Peasley converts. Not much blue running room ahead of him, and Jalen Walker comes flying up to make the stop. Another fourth down coming for the Aggies.
Great job of Jalen Walker recognizing this attempt at a run by Peasley, coming up and making a great sound tackle. But Jalen Walker, really versatile talent. We talked about how good this secondary is. 3 all-Mountain West Conference defensive backs. These guys tackle well and attack the ball well.
By the way, how good has Avery Williams been during his career as a punt returner? He has not had any opportunities to let one rip today. Broncos take over at the 35. Bachmeier and Khalil Shakir back out of the field. We come back to Boise.
And I can see my man Mike Hill working that wedding ring. Congrats, my man.
Mike will talk to you in a bit. Broncos back on offense. Yeah, your Buckeyes start 1-0.
Yeah, it's a bit of a slow start that they had, but they really turned it on. They've got Penn State next week. How about the performance of Rutgers today, too?
Just ask Indiana how that one went. Rutgers taking down Michigan State. Indiana the win over Penn State. That's right, the Big Ten and the Mountain West conferences begin their season. This is week 1 for those conferences. Shakir on the end around, had the burst of speed. Gilliam tackled him.
We talked earlier about the jet sweep motion. You can see Shakir come in motion there, and he does such a great job of getting vertical on this. I love seeing that from the wide receivers. They don't try and run to the sideline, plant that foot, get vertical, get those yards. And obviously he has a great deal of experience running that play. Nice run there by Shakir.
Eric Keesaw, the first-year offensive coordinator, he talked to us. It's almost a requirement to have this creative side in the play calling when you're at Boise State. Bates reels in another catch. Bond brings him down. He's got 4 catches for Bates.
So many looks that you see from this Boise State offense. Started off a little pistol there, went a little run action, get a little boot, get Bates out into the flat. Bates did a nice job getting vertical on that one as well. Just have so many things that you have to try and defend. So many different looks that you have to be ready for, and the pre-motion shifts. Just so much to deal with.
Just saw Bates come to this side. C.T. Thomas. Should be enough for the first. That play, perfect example of what we were just alluding to.
And that's another.
Yeah, and it was so late, too. C.T. Thomas is so far across the formation. You think there's no way that they're going to hand this thing off. Great job on the mechanics of that one, because when that snap comes that late, sometimes it can be hard to get that handoff out of there. Got Jack Sears in there.
Look who is in at quarterback. Bachmeier just rolled off. It's just domination. 11 first downs for Boise State compared to 1 for the Aggies. So here's the redshirt junior from San Clemente, California, the former Southern Cal Trojan. Barrels ahead for a nice pickup.
Yeah, this is what they talked about, the athleticism of Jack Sears. See him getting out of the pocket. A little bit of the turf monster there on the way down the field. But you can see the athleticism of Sears, just take it and go. Little fake toss action there. Got himself a little bit tripped up. Got a little excited. He was smelling end zone.
Well, hey, for your first play in 2 years, positive yardage, pretty good. Bachmeier back in under center, or in the shotgun. Halani. Oh, look at the running room. Jackson ushers him out. Easy run for the Mountain West Conference Freshman of the Year a year ago.
And a nice block by Shakir on this one on the outside. You're going to see the block from Shakir as he appears out here. Lonnie does a nice job accelerating there. Utah State's just got to be more physical up front. We know about the problems that they had a year ago. 297 yards rushing that Boise State had. 176 of those from George Lonnie.
Keeps his feet, weaving left and right for positive yards. Oh, Shakir.
Yeah, a little reverse action here. You just, again, you never know what you're going to see. Missed opportunity there for the tackle. Nice little stiff arm.
Shakir, he'll run that wildcat from time to time. Van Buren, the tailback with Bachmeier. 2nd and 1. Van Buren. Stuffed. Justice Tatey. A returner on the defensive line who's could be a game changer for the Aggies. 3rd down.
Yeah, nice stop there by Tatey coming up. Change from that linebacker spot to defensive line. Great penetration, fighting off of the block, and that's what you really need. You need a guy that's a tone setter. Hey, guys, if you don't understand what kind of tempo you need on game day, just watch me. Does a nice job fighting through the block there and then making the wrap on the tackle.
Boise State at one point led 56-7 in this game a year ago. On the verge of maybe going at 3 scores in the first half. Bachmeier is in. Second career rushing touchdown. 3-score advantage.
Got a numbers advantage that you're going to see up here. Get your lead block. Really an easy one right there. These coaching staffs talk about winning pre-snap. Sometimes you can lose pre-snap as well. Just by your alignment, you get yourself out of position, and that's exactly what we saw right there. Not really so important to stay up from a psychological standpoint for this Utah State team and that offense. They're going to get their opportunity when we come back.
It's a 3-score advantage for Boise State after Hank Bachmeier ran in his 2nd career rushing touchdown. 9 plays, 65 yards. So this Boise State engine continues to roar in game 1 of this, what's going to be a truncated season. Both of these teams with 8 games on the schedule. That's the max for all Mountain West Conference teams. It's a sprint for the conference title game. Jason Shelley back at quarterback. The transfer from Utah. A scramble for a few. Dimitri Washington brings him down. So Shelley comes back in. Andrew Peasley orchestrated the offense on the prior Aggies drive. Still just 1 first down for Utah State. Remember, this team lost a starter at every skill position. No more Jordan Love, the record-setting quarterback. So Yossi Mariner is gone. That ball is loose. Devontae Henry Cole on the carry. And Jordan Nathan was able to recover it. So 3rd down coming up.
This is a tighter look right here, but you can see that was Avery Williams. They had a quarter blitz called on that one. Great call by Jeff Schmedding.
Shelley took a hit after he let that one go. Devin Tompkins with the reception. 4th down.
Nice little blitz there. Riley Wimpy getting in there. making Shelley feel that one. So you better believe we're going to be bringing it all day.
It just feels, anywhere you look on that Boise State defense, it is just a sturdy and stable group.
Well, just like that offensive line, they replace some faces along that defensive line. Most notably Weaver, 13.5 sacks a year ago. They've had guys just really step up.
Remember, Mike Hill's got you covered with the State Farm halftime show coming up. Busier day of college football with the Big Ten back, Mountain West as well. Welcome to the Fox Sports airwaves, by the way. Thrilled to have the Mountain West Conference. Fox FS1 and FS2 this year. On the blue to kick it off. And suddenly he's getting a lot of work in the opening half. Williams, who has 5 career return touchdowns.
Even though there are no fans in the stand, guys just get a little excited. Younger players, even in his second year, a little bit excited. Mechanics just a little bit off.
When in doubt, hand the ball to Halani.
Not a bad option.
So Bachmeier, the prized recruit of that 2019 class, had one of the best first impressions ever. Throws for more than 400 yards down in Tallahassee in a win against Florida State to kick off last year. Wins his first 7 starts before injuries marred the remainder of the year for him. Came back, played in the Boise State's bowl game, looked a little rusty, but nonetheless, a solid first year to say the least.
Big third down opportunity here for Utah State, trying to come up with the stop, get this ball back, and get some more points. Get some points on the scoreboard here.
3 yards for the first down, and that was C.T. Thomas sitting down nicely across midfield.
Still going to have their chance. Bachmeier does a nice job. That offensive line really did a nice job. We talked about all those new faces right there. Utah State comes with the blitz, picked up perfectly, gives Bachmeier the time, delivers a nice ball.
And plenty of time there, but gets rid of it with coverage downfield. So 2nd and 10. Clock stops at 1:23. Boise State with 1 timeout left. Bachmeier 12 of 16 through the air. 157 passing yards plus the touchdown on the ground. To the sideline, incomplete. A little bit behind Thomas. So the Aggies, here they go, have another chance to stop the Broncos on 3rd down.
Yeah, and they've got all 3 of their timeouts as well. Bachmeier just trying to hit the quick out right here. Goes a little bit behind to C.T. Thomas on that one. And that's a really dangerous throw right there. That's the cardinal sin for a quarterback. On those quick outs like that, you throw that ball to the inside, that thing can easily be tipped and intercepted, but he got away with it right there.
He's got 4 receivers on 3rd down. They need the 37. There's a dart and a catch. Octavius Evans. Move the sticks.
A great throw from Bachmeier here, and watch the way that Octavius Evans, nice strong hands, extends that ball away from the defender, trying to knock that thing out on the way to the ground.
Bachmeier has hit 7 different receivers. This was a little too much heat on it. Going back to Evans, 2nd and 10.
They got to take a little bit off on those. Coming underneath right there. Got a little bit excited. Saw his man breaking open, wanted to get that thing out of there quickly. Got to throw the change up on that one.
It stayed up in the air a little while, too, after it hit Evans' right hand. Fortunate for Bachmeier, no Aggies nearby. Just about a minute to go until half. Good pocket. Pass, catch, and John Bates with his 5th catch of the day to lead all receivers.
Yeah, Bates does a nice job just sitting down in that zone. That Utah State defense, Utah State not able to get home, not able to affect Bachmeier, and really not able to cover very well on the back end. Having some problems.
No pressure. Evans another 1st down catch. Bachmeier saying let's spike it. 34 seconds to go.
Well, these coaching staffs talk about complementary football, and if you're not generating that pass rush, you can only cover for so long on the back end of your defense, and you've been seeing that today. As Boise State receivers and the tight ends, Riley and Bates, have had their opportunities to get open, and that front for Utah State has not been able to exploit, which is an offensive line for Boise State that has a lot of new faces on it.
2 starters out for the Aggies, Lethbridge and Reed. Alani out of the backfield. He breaks free. Touchdown. Second touchdown of the day. Zigs and zags and scores.
This young man is just special. Brian Harsin just gushed about him. You can see the move to the outside, move back to the inside. Such a natural feel as a runner, and does a nice job protecting the football all the way into the end zone.
28-0.
How about this for a nugget, Mike Hill? This is not the latest start ever for Utah State for a football season.
Season opener in Boise, and the Broncos with a 4-score lead. 28-0, the advantage over Utah State, with Robert Smith, former Pro Bowler with the Vikings, Kevin Fitzgerald with you. We wondered what the season opener was going to look like for both of these offenses. For the Broncos, it was a blue tidal wave that we saw 300+ total yards in half number 1.
Yeah, and this is, if you're new offensive coordinator Eric Keesaw for Boise State, this is kind of how it looked in your dreams coming into a game like this.
The Aggies start half number 2 with the football.
I think
They run for it. Cuts away from Whimpey. And yeah, first down.
this is what you want to see from a guy like Jason Shelley. Does a nice job, open field running right here, baiting some tacklers. He's got such a great burst. His acceleration can be amazing. You would hope they could get some opportunities, get him on the edge, give him some run pass options, maybe get some shots downfield.
Not much there for Warren. And it's worth pointing out, remember, the last time Shelley saw the field significantly and started a game 2 years ago for Utah when he led them to the Pac-12 championship game and a bowl game that season. It's been a while. Only threw 11 passes last year, playing behind Tyler Huntley down the road, Salt Lake.
It actually was moved to safety for the bowl game last year because of some injuries that Utah had. Had a tackle in the bowl game.
That's one of those, the writings on the wall. Okay, let me look for another program. End around the reverse to Tompkins. He's smothered. Bunch of blue helmets.
Watch Jacob Robinson come up on this play. He doesn't end up making the tackle, but he's going to come firing up here. Force the action, makes him cut back on that, allows the cavalry to come in and finish the job.
Rarely is his Broncos team going to shoot themselves in the foot defensively. So steady everywhere. 3 on the play clock. Shelley to the marker. That one is a catch. Tompkins.
Right foot, left foot spot here. It looks like they're going to give it to him.
Tompkins, Shelley's favorite receiver today. 5 catches.
Shelley does a nice job of the placement on that one. You can see Tompkins dragging that foot, trying to get his eye on the
2 feet,
marker.
2 knees down. Just a positive momentum for the Aggies. Late in the 3rd. Warren grinding. He sits down in midfield.
Nice physical run right there for 7 yards. There's so many options. Just as you're crossing the 50 here, we hear it so many times. Talk about when do you take one of those shots? Is this the opportunity?
10-2 on the sideline. Markel Reed comes in and takes place. 2nd and 3. Warren finds the edge. Oh, and a stiff arm pass Canijo. Wasn't quite Derrick Henry, but still got him an extra yard or two. And a first down for the Aggies.
Nice physical run right there. See why Jalen Warren was so successful at the beginning of last season. Such a physical runner. And that's a waxing move, by the way.
Waxing, not waning.
Waning says it's getting small.
That's right. Astronomy 101 with Robert Smith. Warren again. About 3 yards. Whitby with another tackle.
3 yards pickup.
Regardless, proved to be a beautiful Saturday in Boise. So look at the difference. The first half, 1 first down for Utah State, 5 in half number 2. Several on this drive. 7 yards to go. Warren just fights for every yard, wiggles ahead.
Clearly, there's been a great deal of uncertainty. So many different things have happened in this unusual year. Coaches find out so much about their team in a situation like this. You're down in a game like this, 28-0 at half. How do you come out of the locker room? What kind of effort are you showing out there? You're really finding out a lot about their team, and you can see they're playing much more physical football.
You've wanted the offensive line play as well in the second half. Warren got to work for it. Squeezes through the hole. Hopping down to the 15. There's the effort.
And Jalen Warren saying, if you don't know the tempo, just watch me. Look at the shoulder pads staying low. That's so important because when there is contact, that momentum still moving him forward, pushing guys off of his feet. And here we see a little bit of the tempo.
Warren's the tailback. Warren, touchdown. He was working all drive, deserved that one, and the Aggies are on the board.
They're on the board and they're excited about it. I'd love to see that. I mean, these guys are not hanging their head. We talked about how they came out from halftime. They're much more physical than they were. Drive this Boise State defense back. Warren does a nice job on that one, cutting it to the backside. Boise not able to seal that one off on the backside. Touchdown. And celebrating the first touchdown, the first points of the season for Utah State. And whoever thought we'd be playing in the first place. Great to see.
Football is back in the Mountain West. Warren has got the Aggies on the board. Nice run.
Why you trying to keep me thinking?
So 16 plays, 80 yards for a touchdown for the Aggies. Jalen Warren with 48 of those 80 yards on the ground. He punched it in from a yard out to get Utah State on the board. And so all of a sudden here, Robert, the Aggies have scored. Nice looking drive. A couple of defensive stops in this quarter. We'll see what can happen. See if they can try to flip this one quickly. Need to rack up the stops though.
Well, ideally, even more than a stop, you'd like a turnover.
Right.
In a case like this. And this is something new defensive coordinator Frankie Miley has emphasized. See what they come out here with early.
Williams, the 39. Boise State football after the Utah State score. Jack Sears with a little flip to Khalil Shakir. The first play of the drive. Positive yards, about 8.
Andrew Van Buren had a nice block coming out of the backfield. I don't see any selfish players on this Boise State team. The receivers are going to block. Running backs block when they get an opportunity. We'll see what Jack Sears is able to do here. See if he can dial up some throws.
Speaking of opportunity, so Hank Bachmeier to the sideline. He had one other snap in the first half. It was an 8-yard run. This is the fake, the throw, and Bates was open. It looked like he was quite looking. incomplete, so 32, and Sears back to the sideline.
Just a little miscommunication, it looks like. The fake toss on that one. Pressure from the linebacker level. You can see Metzenheimer on that one, able to get the hands up, forcing a throw further to the inside than Jack Sears wanted on that one.
Yeah, pardon me, that wasn't Bates, that was Sears, just missed him. 2 yards to go. Van Buren's the tailback. Motions out. Spin. First down. Well-designed play. Clock winds in the third.
And that's another first down.
When they really have the confidence in these backs, getting downfield, catching the ball out of the backfield, that creates so many problems for opposing defenses because you can force bad matchups against safeties and linebackers.
Bachmeier this time decides, nope, I'll take the knee. Metzenheimer and Henninger were right there.
Well, again, offensive coordinator Eric Keesaw talked about this with Bachmeier and the injuries that he had a year ago. He wanted him to protect himself better this year, so he's practiced on those slides. Discretion is the better part of valor sometimes.
Van Buren up 2.5 yards. And his toughness, of course, is such an admirable characteristic, but it also sometimes is worst enemy. So often last year, the long-time radio voice, the Broncos, the highlight call would be hit as he throws. Hit as he throws on Bachmeier's highlights.
Well, you want them in there tough when they have to get the ball downfield, but you also want them to be smart about it.
Fourth quarter about to begin, but first, a team comparison sponsored by Credible.com. It was 28-0 at the half. The Aggies with the lone score in quarter number 3. And looked much better as they tried to move the football a bit more aggressively than in half number 1.
3rd and 9 here. Here's your opportunity. Get Boise State off the field, get your offense back out there.
Some pressure coming. Bachmeier stands in, heaves it. Bates got his hands on it. 4th down.
Jarrett Green does a nice job breaking that one up. Remember, he's a player that's in for Lethbridge, and they brought the blitz there. Frankie Miley going to force the action on that one. And Green goes up, knocks that ball out of the hands of Bates. Good job there.
His first career start. Makes a fine play.
That's what you need.
Boots it right into his own teammate. This ball is free. Aggies recover. Nick Henninger picks it up.
And recovered.
Velasquez spiked it into it. Looked like Bates.
When we talked about this Utah State team needed more than some stops, needed something like a turnover, and of course it's not truly a turnover, would have been their ball anyway, but this is exactly what they needed.
Boom.
I don't know that I've ever seen that one. Just kind of hits the extended arm of Bates right there.
If it got by the Bates arm, it might have hit somebody just past him. Look at this. At the 21, a drive starts. On the ground. Short gain for Noah. You said it. They need a turnover, not just stops. Instead of maybe being pinned inside their own 20-yard line, the Aggies inside of the Broncos' red zone.
You wonder if Warren's banged up.
Noah's 3rd carry. This is the true freshman. And a lot of blue in front of him, but tripped up.
Yep, Warren's coming back onto the field now.
Warren 76 yards on the ground today. Clearly the Aggies' best ball carrier, plus he has the lone score.
48 yards on that last drive alone. They gave him a little bit of a break at the beginning of this drive. Man-to-man here again.
That's McGriff. Instead, Warren. First down. He just grinds for yards. Goal to go.
Nice physical run from Warren. Again, gets a little lead. Pull the tight end Mortensen around on that one. Little power. Just extra bodies to the point of attack. Warren does a nice job following.
Warren to the 5.
I'm sure it was quite a halftime speech. Gary Anderson, he's got these guys all cranked up. Huge emotional swing, though, with the punt that goes into Bates. See if you can punch it in now.
Quickly, Warren absorbs a blow. Now it's the pile. He might have gotten to the 2.
When that gets those guys up front so pumped up, when they see their running back punch it in there like that, start carrying tacklers with him, say, hey, I got a block for this guy. I know if I can get a hat on a hat, we got a chance with a guy like that.
See it at the O-line with just much more of a push in the second half. 3rd and goal. McGriff, bottom of the screen. Warren, second effort. Touchdown.
Nice second effort from Jalen Warren, but he makes a man miss right after he gets the handoff, or else he would not have even had a chance. Look at that little side step right there, a little bit of a jump cut. And carrying folks into the end zone.
Now his left knee looked like it hit the turf. Now was the ball across the line at that point. Holtum hits the right upright. Nels Holtum, kicking in his first game in 3 years, misses that one. So the Broncos' mistake leads to the Aggies' score. Warren, all muscle to get across the goal line. Two is better than one, and Jalen Warren has now a pair of scores. He was the star of that short drive after the Broncos' special teams mistake. The Aggies punched one in to get it back to a 2-score game. Extra point was missed, but still a 2-possession game.
And he was the star of the drive before with 48 rushing yards on that drive. He's really been the difference here in the second half for this Aggie football team.
Here is the dangerous Avery Williams. He's been totally contained today.
Avery Williams.
Boise State ball. So with 11:45 in the 4th. By the way, if you flipped away at halftime and you're coming back right now, yeah, Utah State back within 2 scores. The offense was wretched in the first half. 2 Jalen Warren touchdowns have the Aggies within reach at least. What's the difference?
Well, they've been so physical on the offensive side, and they've dialed up more of the blitzes, taking some chances defensively to come up with some stops.
Marcus Moore wrangles Halani down. Might have pulled him across the line, and it is. That's a first down. By the way, that's the UCLA transfer.
Well, this is the chess game that happens between coordinators. You're the offensive coordinator, Eric Keesaw. You're the defensive coordinator for Utah State, Frankie Miley. Both first-year coordinators. Where's the blitz going to come? Where are we going to try and take the ball?
Bachmeier, plenty of time. That ball looked like it was tipped and still caught. Khalil Shakir, the captain.
And it looks like Metzenheimer might get a hand on this one.
Yes.
still able to complete it. That's a great job by Bachmeier, though, just getting just enough air on that ball. And if you're Metzenheimer on that one, you're like, man, got to work on that vertical a little bit. Almost could have had himself a pick.
Palani working on the speed. Oh, and his tackle was nearly gone. Shaq Bond got him by the ankles. Palani almost said good night.
Remember, Holani, 176 yards in this game against Utah State a year ago. And look at this, just 10 yards downfield. Nobody even lays a hand on him. Nice move on the safety. Says, okay, you guys got Jalen Warren. Remember, I can tote that thing a little bit myself.
Gain of 34. Ball's at the 26. Here comes Shakir. He wants into the action. First down.
This Boise State offense can be so difficult to defend because even when you have eye discipline, you're reading your keys and you're going to see players pull to the backside of this the other way, looking like it's going to be power the other way, and then Shakir gets it on the sweep action coming back in the other direction. That gets linebackers, safeties out of position and creates great angles for your blockers that are pulled around.
That was Holani who just motioned out. Shakir. Who's got the ball? It looks like the big fella on the line. Curran. Was that Garrett Curran? He's got the big smile on his face. This is one to take a look at again. He's got it.
Oh, wow. That's like the old fumble Ruski, except the ball wasn't on the ground. Just hands it right to the big man. I don't know if he was waiting and was going to try and hand that thing off the other way. They weren't having it.
Nick Henninger spotted it immediately. Here's Shakir. Bending around multiple defenders, and he scores.
Shakir, just so dangerous, such a versatile weapon. It's a nice job, fearless, going across the middle. But it's his run after the catch that's so special on this play. We talked about this earlier. Getting upfield, starts to move horizontally, but then does a nice job planting that foot, getting upfield. Nice physical run for a guy that isn't that big.
Dodging white helmets and officials as well. His second touchdown of the day. Boise State punches right back late in this season opener, answering back-to-back Aggie scores with one of their own. Khalil Shakir with his second touchdown pass, now over 100 yards today in the opener.
We talked about his versatility as well. Catching the ball in the backfield, taking the jet sweeps, even throwing the ball sometimes.
You know, and you've referenced just how difficult it is for defenses. Tompkins gets buried at about the 18. For Shakir, he's got to handle all of those elements of the offense himself. He's the spoken player of the game.
For good reason. See him settling down on this play. Look at that vision as you talked about. Looting white helmets, looting the ref, getting that ball into the end zone. He's a physical player. He's not the biggest guy, but he is absolutely fearless, whether it's catching the ball going across the middle, running the ball on the jet sweeps. Doesn't just try and keep that ball horizontal, understands he's got to get in those early vertical seams to make those plays the most effective.
Smoking player of the game. Sponsored by Old Tapper Beef Jerky. Again, what does that say about his ability to handle so much the offensive load?
Looking at the play. Second down.
Again, not a very big guy, but he's a physical guy. See if Utah State can answer here. 2 consecutive drives, bringing the blitz.
Shilly fires. Pass caught. First down.
Showing to right.
Derek Wright with his first catch of the evening.
Right with the first catch. Williams on the coverage there. Defensive coordinator Jeff Schmedding starting to dial up some blitzes, taking some chances. May see one again here.
Noah and Canijo combined. Tackle Warren in the backfield. Utah State was shut out at half, trailed 28-0, scored twice in the third, but Boise State came back with a punch a few minutes ago to extend the lead once again to 3 scores. Shelley on 2nd and 21, gets a few back on the completion of Wright. 3rd down and long.
Well, it's 3rd down and long, but you're not punting the ball away on 4th down here, so you want to cut off some of that. Now maybe you try and cut off half of it again. You're maybe not driving all the way down to the 1st down marker on this. We're going to have some man coverage here on the outside. Be interesting to see kind of how the safeties rotate on the snap of the ball in this one.
Shelley looking for McGriff. Leaps. Incomplete.
Justin McGriff.
McGriff's turned into his favorite target in the second half. Too tall for the 6'6" receiver.
He really had that ball where he wanted it. Gets that thing up a little bit higher maybe, but Reed on the coverage there. But McGriff's, if you give him an opportunity to go up a little bit higher on that one, maybe catch a little bit cleaner. But that's a ball that McGriff needs to catch.
They need the Broncos 48. Clean pocket, strike. That one, it hits the receiver in his chest. It was Tompkins, falls to the blue turf.
Tyler and Skinner on the coverage there. Nice job, even if that ball gets completed. Probably going to be knocked out.
Look at Skinner come in here.
Separate the man from the ball.
The Utah State put up quite a fight in that 3rd quarter. And remember, this Aggies team playing without a pair of defensive starters. Playing without their starting tight end Carson Terrell, their starting kicker Connor Coles. A flip to Shakir. Stop me if you've heard that one or seen that one before. Big run. Shakir adding to his total. He's coming up on about 150 yards of total offense.
We're going to see that jet motion again. A little pop pass there. That's going to be some passing yardage. Bachmeier, they'll pad the stats a little bit. But that little move by Shakir, a little handover move right there. Doesn't even need a full stiff arm. It's not a stretch. A nice cut. Yep.
Bachmeier drilled. First by Ritisona. Fata. Rather, Sears took that snap. Might not be a shock if Khalil Shakir is the best receiver in this league once we get to the end of this year. That breakout sophomore season a year ago. 123 yards receiving, plus the 2 scores. 2nd and 9. This is Bachmeier now. Van Buren. Tackled by Moore. Falls inside the 20. Clock continues to roll. Boise State is now a few minutes away from winning its 21st straight conference open. Ryan Harson's team went undefeated in league play last season. Won the conference championship game, just narrowly missed out on a New Year's Six bowl. Wound up playing Washington in the Las Vegas Bowl.
Really a lot of wasted opportunities in that bowl game as well.
Facing his predecessor, Chris Peterson. Buren rolls to the 13.
6-yard gain.
You know, for Boise State, again, the expectation year after year is always sometimes, hey, win a championship, reach a New Year's Six bowl. What's the outlook like for this team the rest of the way from what you've seen today?
Well, so much uncertainty, obviously.
Right.
What players are going to be available, how many games are actually going to get played, how many games some of those other group of 5 schools are going to get to play. We've got BYU sitting out there. Great matchup.
Shakir just pinballs all over the place. Bounces off of one tackler another and picks up positive yards. The 4th down is converted.
And again, people like to say it's just the little guys at Boise State. Think about all the players that they have in the NFL. 11 straight seasons where they've had at least one player drafted. 9 of those players drafted in the first 2 rounds of the draft. So they get some talent here, and we're seeing some of that talent on display. They know how to pick them.
Plenty of weapons for Bachmeier, including Andrew Van Buren. Touchdown, Boise State. First career score for the sophomore from California.
You watch both of these running backs on film, and they both do such an excellent job with that pad level, something we talked about earlier. So important down near the goal line that you're running behind your pads, that you're only presenting those pads to the defenders. That's all that they can hit initially, but you get that momentum moving forward after the hit. Keep those legs churning, drive it into the end zone. So there's some group of 5 teams that are making a lot of noise, and boy, how do you compare teams with the different schedules that they have, not a lot of common competition, and not all the same number of games at the end of the year. What are you saying, because of Van Buren?
Only 8 games on the schedule.
Oh,
fewer games than usual.
good point. Well, you get a bowl game, potentially. Championship
Bowl
game and a bowl
championship game. Could be as many as
Could be 10. See the schedule right there.
We're looking forward to having the Broncos, all of their home games on the Fox Sports Airways.
11 and the 6th, that's a Friday. That's going to be a fun one. Boise and BYU on a Friday night.
Bruno DeRose nearly picked that one off. Utah State has been right up there at the top of the conference with Boise State the last couple of years.
And I think that there's it's so great. I mean, and there's no substitute for it. There's no substitute for getting reps on film, getting live reps against another team, and finding out what your team is about. Again, we learned a lot about what this Utah State team is about by the way that they came out and started to play in the second half. Didn't make enough plays to get all the way back in the game, but they certainly didn't quit.
We saw some great flashes from Jalen Warren in the second half. He's poised for another good season. By the way, I mentioned Air Force. Remember, coming up, Air Force and San Jose State next. Alex Faust, Petros Papadakis have that one for you coming up. Immediately following this one, 42 points for Boise State. League's highest scoring team from a year ago. Doing what it usually does. McGriff tags on another catch.
It's something that we've talked about a number of times in the broadcast, how important these types of reps are against another team, the live reps, the time in retreat. Jason Shelley, who hasn't been with this team that long, and his wide receivers.
He gets stamped. Devine Obusheri with his first sack as a Bronco.
Well, and of course, Jason Shelley, wearing that red jersey in practice, you're not taking those hits. That's why quarterback is such a unique position, such a difficult position. I think the most important position in all of sports. The guy's got to be able to stand in, face that down, and still deliver the ball.
Belted down Roman Kafensis finished him off after the initial hit. You would expect progression from Shelley and this Aggies team. They continue to get further on the same page.
Clearly not the result that you want, but again, the importance of getting those live reps and seeing how guys respond to that adversity is so important. And I think on the other side, you're looking at Brian Harsin and his team. He was concerned they weren't tackling as much. There's an interception there.
Interception for Tyreek LaBeouf. And that's how this one's going to close out. Boise State starts its quest for its 5th Mountain West Conference championship with a win. Begins 1-0.
Well, partner, we made it to a game, right? We didn't know if this day was going to come. These players didn't know if this was going to come, and you could just sense the excitement from both of these coaching staffs that this actually arrived.
An accomplishment in and of itself, no question. Hank Bachmeier, the Broncos, they make it 11 consecutive season openers at home since '97. Enjoyed it, partner. For Robert Smith and our entire great crew, Kevin Fitzgerald saying so long for Boise. Let's head to the studio right now.